Meanwhile, Kamala Harris, she's a narc, right? I mean, Kamala Harris was the AG of the state of California, and she was most famous for threatening parents of truants with jail time. Right? And here she is saying that the police are bad. She says it's outdated to think that more police create more safety, which is belied by every single fact ever discovered ever. Removing police from a community do not create more safety. And if you believe they do, it's because you are a liar. She is a liar. She's a liar, Kamala Harris. Maybe vice presidential candidate Kamala Harris. Here she is, absolutely pandering. It's outdated to think more police create more safety, except that as soon as we removed the police last week, then major cities across America had to be shut down at 6 p.m. and Beverly Hills had to be curfewed at 1 p.m. But it's the cops. Here's Kamala Harris.
The status quo has been to determine and create policy around the idea that more police equals more safety. And that's just wrong. You know what creates greater safety? Funding our public schools. It is old thinking, it is outdated, and it is actually wrong and backward to think that more police officers will create more safety.
This is insane. It's patently insane. Obviously, it's not true. And by the way, you know who knows it's not true? Joe Biden, who's basically said that he's going to expand police budgets. If you want to quash crime, you need more cops. It's amazing. I mean, I've been amused watching the tweets of people who are saying defund the police. So people are like, okay, so who will respond to the murder calls? People are like, you know what we need? We need more Planned Parenthood clinics. It's like, well, that's a hell of a statement. That what's going to solve crime is abortion? That seems kind of eugenic and racist to me. But in any case, this is the lie that is being told. Trevor Noah did the same thing. If you invest in communities, you don't need to invest in the police. Yes, that's clearly what's been missing is federal investment in low-income communities. We haven't done that for the last 60 years. We haven't invested $5 trillion in welfare programs ranging from federal housing projects to food stamps to unemployment. We haven't done any of that. We haven't spent $5 trillion to achieve a larger racial wealth gap in the United States than we had in 1965. Clearly, if we just pour money into inner city communities, they will bloom like the deserts of Judea. Or alternatively, they won't change a damn thing because the problem there actually isn't a lack of money. The problem there is a lack of public safety. The problem there is a lack of people being able to graduate high school. The problems run a lot deeper than just toss money at the problem. But here's Trevor Noah saying, you don't need cops if you throw money at people.
Los Angeles has announced that they will be taking money away from the LAPD and putting it into programs like education. And please don't get it wrong. This is not a spite thing. I've seen so many conversations where people seem like they're punishing the police. No, studies have shown that when you invest in people, when you invest in communities, you don't need to invest in the police. It makes sense. Prevention is always better than a cure, especially when the cure kills black people.
Yeah, the cure kills black people? No, the cure saves black people. You know how many black lives were saved in New York City over baseline by broken windows policing? Literally thousands of black lives were saved in New York City because of broken windows policing. The cure is not midnight basketball to crime. That does not solve crime. The cure is not food stamp programs. We've tried all of this. It has failed. The only thing that has ever been shown to lower crime rates ever is additional law enforcement in high crime communities. That's the only thing. Literally, that's all. Now, there are things that we can do to alleviate the burden on law enforcement. Right? We can make it so that mental illness is treated by actual mental illness professionals as opposed to the first call being 911. That's a good thing. I back it. But if the idea is that you remove the cops and suddenly things get safer, I urge Trevor Noah to remove his entire security detail and see if things get better for him personally. I encourage Comedy Central to remove their entire private security detail and see how things go and publicly announce it. Like, really, let's see how it goes for you. I encourage all the people who are in favor of gun control and believe that guns make America less safe and that self-defense is not a thing. I encourage them to all put signs on their lawn today saying this is a gun-free home and see how it goes for you. This is it's so